So my first question for you, Paul, is from a personal standpoint, how would you define and how do you think about luxury?
Well, I think about it actually the same personally as I do in business, and that is it's really a matter of freedom of choice. And there are so many definitions of luxury, but it's really, to me, it's all about freedom and the opportunity to make a decision relative to what you want out of something. And in a personal way, I took a week last week, I was telling Greg, and I have a small house up in Connecticut that I go to on weekends, and it was really a luxury. I travel last year I was out of the country 156 days. For me, to go up to that little house in Connecticut and be able to work on the computer and to be able to make all of my phone calls in the morning early to Europe, which I do every day, was such a luxury. And be able to look out the window and see the trees and, you know, this kind of bucolic scene, that was a real personal luxury for me. And I think that that kind of experience is what people are looking for today. It's in hotels, it's natural, it's an experience. They want not just to stay in a hotel, but they want to have an experience of staying there. There has to be some compelling reason for them to go there. And as an example, I think of hotels like Cyranus, La Cyranus, and Villa d'Este, where people go there for a special experience, and they come back saying, not only did I stay there, but I took cooking classes and I studied flower arranging, and there's a real lifetime experience for people, and they want to get something out of that other than just saying, I went to XYZ hotel and I sat by the pool.
Is this sense of luxury among the high-end consumer changing the way hotels are defining their services and packages of services?
Yeah, absolutely. I think many of the names in the business today are reflective of that type of approach. And I think especially with the independent hotels, whom we serve primarily, they have to be especially on top of this and make sure that they have a great guest history, that they know the likes and dislikes of their customers, and create an atmosphere that's conducive to that and fulfilling.
When you look at the types of services and the hoteling business, there's kind of been an escalation of amenities so that everybody has the perfect bed and everybody is looking for ways to delight the guest through physical touches in the room or additions. How is that changing, and what kind of pressure is that putting on the luxury hotels? Because many of what might be defined as more mass hotels are beginning to adopt physical amenities that used to be seen as just class amenities.
Yeah, I think it's becoming almost commonplace in the luxury hotel scene, at least, that these things are in place. People take that for granted, that they're going to have a duck's bed or they're going to have some special amenity. What hasn't changed and what is difficult for many hotels in the luxury sector to realize is that the basis for the guests staying there is recognition. They want recognition more than anything. They want to be called by their name. They want to be recognized, not in an unobtrusive way, but they want that sense of being in a home away from home. And that can be in a commercial venue as well. And there are some hotels that do especially good work there because they're conscious of that. We had an experience several years ago in doing focus groups on a particular subject. And one of the questions that we had for our panelists was how important is the availability of points to you in your hotel selection. And almost 100% of them said the same thing. And that was, well, if they're offered, we'll take them. But the reason I stay there is because they know me and they know what I like and they have a good guest history and I know so-and-so at the front desk and the manager comes out and greets me. Those are the reasons, and that has never changed. I think since the beginning of the hotel industry, that's really what people want more than anything. They want that recognition as being someone who stays at the Plaza Athénée, someone who stays at the Ritz, somebody who stays at the Dorchester. These are the drivers, I think, that are more important.
When you talk about experiences, what kinds of things specifically are the more forward-looking luxury hotels offering the best guests that kind of push the envelope in terms of experiences in a non-traditional way?
I think that the basic ones are ones where there's some sort of skill involved, where the guests can come home and say, I learned how to do something new. I added value to my life by staying at this hotel. That's generally the type, anything that fits in that category. So as I mentioned, it could be flower arranging, it could be cooking, it could be some painting in some cases, introductory opportunities for cultural activities that people see as a benefit to their stay.
Do you see the hoteliers aligning and partnering with cultural institutions, like, say, the Metropolitan Museum of Art or the Louvre or others?
Yeah, that's a very big part of the personality of our hotels. Several years ago, for example, I see Dave McKinney and Sally here, we had our annual meeting, our annual convention in New York City, and we were privileged to have our banquet in the Temple of Tandoor. It was an experience that none of our hoteliers will ever forget. It was something that people will still talk about today as being an experience that was, you know, totally unusual. But in the cities in which we're located, our hotels are in fact museums, and they're places of historical note. And so people who are staying at the Crillon, they don't have very far to go to the Louvre, because they're part of that environment. So they're in the neighborhood. They don't have to take a cab, or they're right there. So that's a big part of the historic value, especially of the classic Grand Dame European hotels that comprise the core of our hotel company.